Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Miss Heather Dubrow.
Yeah.
What is going on, Heather? I mean, Fancy Pants is back in the building.
Yeah. What was I thinking, David?
Heather, I don't know what you were thinking, but you know what I have to say? Welcome back. I mean,
Thanks.
I'm so happy to have you back. Listen, you were on this podcast before with Mr. Teddi Dubrow. We had a nice, lovely chat. You said never say never. We had a moment. Well, I guess truer words have never been spoken, right?
I guess, I can't remember the last time I saw you, but I may have known then. How long ago was it?
It was 2020, I think
Oh, no,
March.
it was way before. Well, here's the thing. I mean, look, as you know, you explore every opportunity. You don't say an immediate no. I really thought, though, that when I left the show that I had checked the box. Like it felt like I had done my job. I left well, and I didn't really see the purpose in coming back. But when they called me, I laughed, and then I thought about it, and like I said, you explore every opportunity. It's an amazing platform. And I really thought, when Max came out a few years ago, we were sort of inundated with a lot of wonderful support. And then also these tragic stories about people that were estranged from their children, people who said their children had taken their lives because they didn't have a safe space to come out and all this. And I thought, okay, so we've got these 4 kids, they're different genders, different sexualities, different places in their lives. And maybe we could open conversations in other people's families. What I didn't realize when we started, I mean, I had no idea that Katerina was going to talk about being a lesbian. I mean, I just didn't. I mean, I knew, but there are stories to tell. So I didn't know that was going to happen, but I was so proud of her and glad that she felt comfortable to do that.
Absolutely. Did you have any reservations? I mean, I know, listen, one thing I took away as a viewer is like, look, family is everything to you. I mean, I know you probably didn't just say, let me check this box and go back. I mean, I'm sure you talked to all the children and Terry, like, did you have any reservations? And did Terry or the children, like, who was the most hesitant to this idea?
I mean, probably me. Terry always saw this show sort of as folly, and he's a doctor, so for him it was like, oh, that'll be amusing, and he was of the same mind as me with the platform and the kids and everything. Um, the kids were all thought it was a great idea, but with the kids, it's like they think it's a great idea until you say, hey, throw a microphone on and we're gonna go to an escape room. They're like, oh, really? So, they like the idea of it more than the actual filming of it. But I think I was the one that had the most reservations because it's a very difficult show to do. It just is, it's a lot of work. It is a full-time job. And I have a podcast, Heather Dubrow's World, I do twice a week. I have a YouTube channel. Terry and I, have written 3 books together. We've got our skincare line on Shop HQ, Consult Beauty. And we have 7 Year Stitch, which I'm sure we'll talk about. That's coming out March 1st on E! And so there's a lot of other things, and I'm a mom of 4 kids. Like I have a lot going on, and so to add Real Housewives of Orange County onto my plate wasn't, just like an easy, like, oh yeah, sure, that sounds like a good time.
Right. I mean, like you said, you have all these things going on, and right, it is a full-time job. How has the show changed in the 5 years you were gone?
So when I started, and what's crazy is it was 10 years ago because I was on the show for 5 seasons and I left for 4, but because of the pandemic, it equated to 5 years. So it was actually, when we finished the season, it was actually the 10-year anniversary of when I first started.
Wow.
Now, when I started the show, I didn't know these women. I mean, I was literally just plucked and plopped in the middle of this group. And they were all very connected and had relationships. And I was a total fish out of water, but, very quickly formed my own relationships. And, by the time I left, I felt like with almost everyone, I was close with. When I came back to the show, I felt in a very similar manner that I was plucked in the middle of people I didn't know, except for Shannon. But what struck me, and what I have realized the audience has been saying for the last few years, is that the show didn't feel connected. And I understood why, because when I showed up, I couldn't even tell who was friends with each other. It was just odd. And of course, they had let half the cast go and hired new people and all of that. So it really was a reboot, rebuild. What I thought was interesting was watching what happened during this whole season. And when you get to the end of this season, it is very clear that there are real friendships with people and who is connected. And so that's why I keep calling it a transitional season, as it should be.
That makes a lot of sense. And I know that you have called it a transitional season. I know that was part of your wanting to come back, in addition to, your children are older and showing their stories. And, it was like helping to rebuild and all these authentic relationships. What do you say when someone like, does someone from another franchise have a right, like Margaret Josephs just said, like, she doesn't see it, like, should people from other franchises be commenting on this? And do they really know?
Everyone's got opinions. I would hope that we're all a big sorority and support each other, but everyone does have their opinions. But I think the truth is, it's like, I came back and I feel like people ask me, was there a lot of pressure on you? To me, I didn't think so. I wasn't like, whoa, so much pressure on me. This is an ensemble show. The show is greater than the sum of its parts. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, right? I'm just one cog in the wheel here. But here's the thing, when you come in, like, let's say there's a company in trouble, right? There's a company in trouble. What do? You come into the company, you cut out the dead weight, things that aren't working, and then you rebuild. And you rebuild in the desire to have success and get the company back on its feet and have it thrive. And I think what we've done this season, and not that I went in thinking this, but as I think about the season and what we've done and how it ends, I would tell you that we did it. It was done correctly. And when we end this season, by the way, in a way I've never ended a season before, very odd and fun and strange. I think as we end the season, it is very clear that the future is bright.
I like that. Anything you want to elaborate on this strange ending that none of us have ever seen before?
No.
I didn't think so, Heather, but you can't blame a girl for trying, right?
No, not at all.
Do you think so? Do you think Margaret Josephs will be eating her words at the end?
I think Margaret will have her opinions, and I get it, but I think it's up for the audience to decide.
And you didn't feel pressure, because it was touted as, that one of the best opening scenes in Housewives history. We see Chateau Dubrow and you're walking and hello, and it was put out there like Heather's being brought back to elevate this series. You still didn't feel, with this word elevate, like you didn't feel any pressure.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I was joking. I was like, yeah, well, elevated, classy, and elegant, quickly deteriorates into snobby, pretentious, and whatever. You can't win. You can't win with everyone. The people that wanted to see my house are, upset that I'm showing my house. You just can't win. But I will say this. I mean, with all of the nonsense that comes and the drama and all of that, just having those scenes with my family and the amount of messages that we received, about the kids and the things they're going to and the way we parent and the conversations we have, it touches my heart.